The last time we left off, we had just created the two legs for the posable figure. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to move these legs out of the way and place them in the correct position that they will need to be for later. That way it frees up some workspace and also helps us save time. Now here's what we're going to do. We're going to rotate this to the side, and we're going to do a quick move of each leg. In this case, I want to rotate this particular leg. I'm going to come up here and just make sure we select components, because we got to select the whole component. And we're going to rotate it by 90 degrees. We have to make sure the slots are lined up with one another. So the simplest way to do that is we're just going to move this leg. And there, the legs are now in the semi-position that we want them. Our next step will be to create the joint that connects the two legs together. And this is going to be a simple process. We're going to actually make one rod and two balls. So we're going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to go to sketch, and we're going to make a circle, 3 millimeters. Then we will extrude that circle by 8 millimeters. So let's go ahead and rotate it. We're going to rotate by 90 degrees. Then we're going to create two spheres. We'll go up to create, and each sphere will be 6 millimeters. So we have our two balls and a rod. So we're going to come up here to modify. We're going to go to align. Make sure on the right hand side that your object is set to bodies. Go ahead and select the bottom of the rod. Select one sphere. Click OK. We're going to repeat that process. And there you go. Make sure now that you have this joint, we're going to go ahead and combine all of it. Now we're actually going to make this into a component. So hit new component. That way, when we go to work with it, we can connect it nice and easily. So our next task is to take this joint, and we're going to connect it inside of each of these legs. That way it can rotate. We'll go up to modify, align, select the bottom part of the pin. We're going to align it with the leg part right here. And you'll notice that it is not touching. And one way I can also check this, if I come over here and click on this component, it'll highlight it blue. Now right click, I can go to my opacity control, and I can take my opacity down, and I can get kind of an X-ray vision of this. And we can see that it is not touching in any of those corners. So now we got to attach the other leg. So what we're going to do next is we're going to combine this pin with the rest of the body. I like to shut off all the sketches right now. Let's go ahead and combine. We're going to do an alignment once more. Now on the right side, make sure this is selected as components, because now everything's a component. Select the inside of the leg, and we're going to align it with this ball right here. And click OK. So now we have a small set of legs. And let's go ahead and we're going to make this one component right here. One thing I'd like to do in order to help speed up the 3D printing process and not waste so much filament, you'll notice I have cutout notches here and here on the thighs. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put those on the shins as well, because I have them already on the sides. So let's go ahead and make two quick cutouts on those. Going to do a negative extrude of 12 millimeters. And we're going to repeat the process on this shin up here. So now we're going to begin working on the pelvis. And for this process, we're going to need a rectangle. This rectangle needs to be approximately 15 millimeters in height by 32 millimeters in width. Alright, next we're going to make two quick rectangles. We're going to start in each corner. These rectangles will be approximately 14.5 millimeters wide by 10 millimeters high. We're going to repeat that same process to the right side. 14.5 millimeters wide, 10 millimeters high. Let's go ahead and do a quick extrusion, 12 millimeters high. Now we're going to apply a quick fillet to these inside corners to strengthen the figurine. We're going to hit F. We're going to do 2 millimeters. Alright, now what we have to do, we have to cut a hole through the center of this pelvis area. So we're going to come to this side, and from the center, it's going to be 3 millimeters. Then we will extrude that hole, -4 millimeters. Now it's time to do some alignment. We're going to go up to Modify, select Align. We're going to select that hole, and then we will select the rod. And what you'll notice is it's not entirely perfectly aligned. We're going to move this manually. We're going to move this pelvis area over by 1.5 millimeters. So go ahead, hit M. We're going to move it over 1.5 millimeters. Enter. And there we have it.